Hello, everybody. Josh Denny here. This is our Secret Vision Cast. We do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We got February the 15th here. I'm wearing my Valentine's red shirt for yesterday. The Valentine's Day for all you lovers out there. Much love. I hope you had a phenomenal day with the people that you love and care about the most. Today is about really teaching you how to go out there and maximize your business using events, that specifically the convention that's coming up. We'll go through some information real quickly, and we have some very special guest speakers and some incredible people we want you to hear from here in a moment. But again, we do this every week. We make sure that we're going to deliver to you the top content, the best content. You're going to hear from the top agents in the field, what they're doing, how they're doing it. So you can maximize your business and succeed much faster than you would normally. It's amazing today we have this technology that gives us information lightning speed, where it was 20, 30 years ago where people in this profession, sure, they could make a fortune, but you kind of had to be with the right people. You kind of had to know where the information was. Today, you can be at home in your pajamas and logging on, and you can get this content. And obviously, any business is going to require hard work. What we're going to be talking about on this platform is information to help you go do it in the field as you go out this week and start building your secret business. A couple quick announcements, and before we get into that, I want to share with you real quickly. Secret is a world-class skincare company. That's what they do. They've chosen the network marketing format to distribute compensation and the products to the customers. Quite simply, all we do is we help the consumers get these high-quality skincare products that were recently sold and actually still being sold all over the world, 40 countries, at twice the price, mind you. But because of this new format of relationship marketing, person-to-person, just basically making recommendations to friends and people that you care about, because of your recommendation to somebody else, they can buy this product for 50% off, up to 60% off in some cases, because of your recommendation. And because they're able to do that, they reduce the price point on these products because they're able to get rid of a lot of the costs, the liabilities, the real estate, all the other costs that go into distributing a product. Saves the company a lot of money. So with that savings, we're able to give the consumer an incredible deal, and at the same time pay people like you and I for simply recommending the product, simply helping someone get something that they, in a lot of cases, already bought, already liked, and already paid twice the price for. Now, because of you, they can get it for less, and the company will pay you, not just once, but every time that consumer buys. For example, my wife and I, we see that you're looking better. You're like, man, you're looking good. And you say, well, I've got a little secret. And you show us these products. We buy them, not because you sold us, but because we liked them. And we used them, and we liked them so much, when they ran out, we bought them again. And not only did you get paid for acquiring us as a customer for the company, but you get paid every single time we buy. And you can also build a distribution network. That's what the gentleman you're going to be hearing from in a moment have done, very successfully, I might add, and have been able to earn an incredible income from home, part-time, some of them full-time, others while they're being able to pursue their passions in life and do what it is that they believe God's called them to do. So I'm excited about that. We're going to go into that information. Here's some quick announcements before we get into the content. I want to make a huge congratulations to Dory Armstrong. She won the Westgate VIP experience. She's going to be enjoying a limo ride and upgrades and much more. So this is exciting. We got special agent pricing that's ending Monday, the 16th. That's tomorrow. So make sure that you get in on that so you can enjoy some of the upgrades and the different things on the special agent pricing that is ending. So again, in your back office, you'll get the rest of that content. Not going to go through that today. Center Stage, Secret Center Stage is also these entries are being reviewed. Now you may wonder what that is. It's a talent show for our upcoming convention on the 13th, 14th, 15th here of March in Las Vegas. And again, we're going to be talking a lot about that convention here over the next few minutes. But if you have a special talent you want to be heard from in front of thousands and thousands of people, in fact, probably over 10,000 people worldwide, you're going to be watching this. This is your chance to shine. Send in that entry. Again, go to your back office. Everything's listed there on how to do it. But if your act was chosen, you will be getting a call soon. So make sure you get that stuff in. Let's see here. Silver and above. Oh, wait, sorry, movement planning is underway. We got a lot more fun things in store for you. We're going to talk about registering here in a moment, but you haven't registered. You want to make sure you do that today. Silver and above. Silver and above agents are going to have a special day the day before the training. Okay, so the one day before the training, all the agents are going to get a special training. You can still qualify. If you haven't already, just hit the rank of silver or above, and you'll be invited to attend. This is going to be great. Also, any agent that's 60 days or less in the business currently can actually register themselves for just $99. That's huge. We'll be talking more about that in a moment with Mr. Zach Chaney. And last but not least, Mission 100. Everyone knows Mission 100. This is getting to executive. You're getting an extra $100 on stage at this convention. We already have hundreds of executives that have already qualified, much more rank advancing all the time, so it's not too late. Make sure that you do this. Now, I want to go first to Jordan here. Jordan's out of Jordan, you're in Idaho. Am I right, Jordan?
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Yeah, I'm in Boise, Idaho.
All right, Jordan is a phenomenal young leader. I had the privilege of meeting here not too long ago. Actually got to fly out and meet with you. And here you're having all the success. You're doing extraordinarily well, Jordan. And I want you to just tell people your quick story and kind of a little bit about why convention, why you're going to Movement, why you're not only coming, you're bringing the whole team down from Idaho to Las Vegas to attend the Secret Movement Convention. So if you would, just kind of introduce yourself here to the people and let us know why you're coming to convention.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you I haven't gotten a chance to meet, my name is Jordan Basurdo. I'm originally from Southern California in San Diego, and I ended up moving to Idaho. And out of high school, I got a chance to snowboard professionally. I traveled all around, kind of got paid to play, had a lot of fun, and unfortunately I ended up getting hurt, so I moved back to San Diego and just started working full time. I was delivering newspapers. I did that for about 3 years straight, where I delivered newspapers from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day of the week, no days off, and I just didn't really see a light at the end of the tunnel. When I got introduced to Secret, I kind of saw my opportunity to get back to the lifestyle I had when I was snowboarding for a living, when I was getting, to travel and getting to spend time with my family and friends and do all that type of stuff. So when I got started with Secret, my first convention was shortly after that, actually. It was, I believe it was probably about the week after in Phoenix, Arizona, and then the next one I went to when I just started building the business was in Florida. And that was the one that was a big game changer for me, was going out to the Orlando convention where, I'd gotten to meet all these different leaders and all this different stuff, and I was there by myself. And I remember that day I got back to San Diego after that convention, I took off to Idaho and decided I was just going to go build something. And I was going to, build this empire, and I had no idea how or why or anything like that, but I was just injected with this confidence and this belief level that I could go out and conquer the world. And it just didn't matter. I knew that no matter, what challenges I had the leadership in my corner of the ring and all that stuff, that I could go out and accomplish these things. And I went out to Idaho and got a job, delivering newspapers, ironically enough, all over again, to be able to support myself as I was, building the team out here and stuff like that. And we're in a market completely by ourselves. And I remember having multiple phone calls going in a breakthrough convention with Caleb Brandelis, Joe Valenzuela, Zach Chaney, a lot of the top guys. When I was, in a struggle, I had a lot of challenges financially. I had a lot of challenges with time. When you're delivering newspapers, you don't get days off. They don't allow those. No sick days. So you work every day of the year, and I just didn't know, how I was going to get my shifts covered. I didn't know who was going to throw my route. I didn't know how I was going to come up with the money to be able to afford going, paying for a hotel, paying for the ticket, and all that stuff. And I remember having a conversation with one of the top guys who, just explained to me, having faith and just, believing that it was going to work out and putting my faith in our leadership, because, at the end of the day, they want us to win, and that's why we promote so hard to these events. And I was just told to, no matter what, make sure I got there, and I got my team down there to that event, and the breakthrough was for sure my breakthrough. Coming out of that, I went into breakthrough not even a qualified bronze, and coming out of it about 2 weeks after I hit Royale, got the first car bonus, the 500 every 4 weeks, and about another 2 weeks after that hit silver. So it drastically changed everything, getting myself and my team down to that event and making sure we were all there and ready to rock.
That's awesome, Jordan. One last thing, because I'm listening to you and I'm getting excited about it. And if you're new, you may think, okay, what did it? Give me the one thing. And maybe there's not one. I know it's a lot of things, but what was the one thing that really got you to say, okay, I can do this after that convention? You went there, you sacrificed a lot, obviously, to get there, and it was a stretch, but you did it on faith, made it happen. What was the one thing that really got you when you when you left that made the difference that you just talked about?
I mean, it'd be hard to say there was just one thing. I wholeheartedly believe, I mean, any way you want to slice it up, whether you want to say, you look at our leadership on a financial perspective. In leadership, if we're more successful, our leaders are more successful. And if you looked at that, and leaders don't, I mean, the conventions aren't in the comp plan or anything like that. We don't make more money for, an extra dollar for everyone we get to them. So if you looked at how hard the leadership promotes these events and what they, ultimate end game goal is to accomplish, knowing that they promote so hard, that means they want us to be successful so they could, all of us together could go have more success. And then I just remember, for me, it was when I realized the community here, as strong as it was, and my, overall trust grew in secret, and what we were accomplishing was Zach Chaney's six-figure speech actually at the Orlando convention. As cool as that is to be on this webinar with him tonight, I remember just crying and breaking down during his six-figure ring speech, and someone that literally grew up in the exact same town that I did, that like he went to the same high school my parents went to, all this different stuff, and I was able to relate so well. I knew it was real for me. If I could see someone like him that could go out and do it, that I just knew anybody, we could all go out and do this together if we just put our hearts into it. So.
That's awesome, Jordan. Thank you so much. And I'm excited. We do get to hear from Mr. Zach Chaney here in a moment. But you're right. The stories that you hear can completely change things for you. I know they did the same for me. Jordan, thank you. I'm so proud of you. I know I had the chance, I said earlier, to go out to Idaho and meet the incredible group of leaders that you're working with, that you're helping to develop, that you're serving, and it's amazing to see that marketplace flourish and grow under the leadership that you have. Very, very proud of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here in Las Vegas at the Movement Convention.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Absolutely. The next person, I'm also very proud of this young man, Alan. Alan, you and your family, it's like a family business here that you guys are doing, and it's exciting to watch you grow. I remember when you first came in, you and Dan, and you guys just really took the business by storm. You're doing such a phenomenal job. I know you're done. I don't want to take anything from your story. Please, if you could come on Dan LaGuardia and let everyone know kind of who you are and why convention is an important situation in building your business.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sacred Family and Josh Denny, for having me here. I have a background in behavioral as a therapist for kids with autism and hip-hop instructor. And it's actually my very first go-around in a relationship marketing. And so when I enrolled, it was actually 30 days going into the Huntington Beach 2012 convention. And that's all I really heard about. I paid $49, I got the premium pack, and I was already in debt. And then my sponsor, Tommy Nguyen, told me, well, Alan, if you really want to be successful, you got to go, because not everyone there is making 10 grand a month, but everyone there making 10 grand a month is going to be there. And I was like, wow, I told him I didn't have the funds, and he said that's exactly why you got to be there. That way this time next year, how good would it feel to never say that ever again? So what I did, I actually borrowed $10 from 10 friends. I went to Joe Valenzuela's place in Del Mar, gave him $100, and from there I went to a secret university back then, to the international event. What really hit for me hard was that it was only 1,000 people there, and Julian Doan's speech, his six-figure ring speech, he said, there's two important days in your life, the day you're born and the day you realize why. And I went through 16 years of school, and I like what I do being a therapist for kids, but I didn't want to do that for the next 40 years, and here is Secret. I see it as a vehicle to help so many people indirectly all over the world. And what's done for me is my first 10 months, me and my brother and all our friends were able to help retire our mom, who used to be a nurse for 30 years. I've been in the company now for 2.5 years almost, and I've been able to leave what I've been doing and do this full-time from home. So, and yeah, coming out, I hit 30, my bronze 30 days in, and then popped Royale, helped my friend MJ and my brother Dan pop Royale before me. 2 weeks later, hit silver. I just never missed an event. I hit gold on the way to platinum, which is really exciting, and I'm just really excited to bring more people here and just changing lives. That's what I'm all about. So because of convention, I promise you, I wouldn't be here if I didn't go, and it's all about convention.
Thank you so much, Alan. Great job. By the way, I'm going to ask you another question. Just kind of move your camera a little back. You're a good-looking guy. You've been using a lot of Secret, we can tell. I want to make sure we see that face of yours. So just back up just a little bit from the camera. I got to tell you, man, literally, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm looking forward to having both you and Jordan on future vision casts like this. But last question. and you said a lot in what you talked about just a moment ago about, getting the energy. But if you could say one thing, you make a journey, you sacrifice, you had to borrow $10 from 10 people just to buy a ticket. God knows what you had to do when you're there. Probably slept on a hotel room floor like I did in the beginning, and
Yes.
just ate peanut butter and jelly like I did. It is funny. All of us have a very similar story coming up, but something happened at that first event. I know because when you came back, you were on fire. Things changed. And I asked Jordan, what was the one thing? And it's kind of hard to quantify it, but just what's the one thing that you can say, if I'm brand new, and if you're talking to me right now, and I've never been to a convention, I don't even know why I should go to Las Vegas to this convention, what would you tell me? There's a reason I should go.
There were actually two main ones. One, I saw Joe Valenzuela. I met him, and then I saw him hit his six-figure ring. And the fact that all of us came together the night before to make sure we made it happen for Joe. And seeing Joe on stage, I remember I was screaming on my chair, like, Joe, this is crazy. And seeing him, because he's the one that pioneered the San Diego market, and I wouldn't be here without him. Second was Julian Doan. He brought up his why. He brought up his mom, his family. My why is to help retire my mom. And I just got chills when he was saying his story. He likes Pokemon. I like Pokemon too. He's Asian. I'm Asian as well. And so I just got fired up. And when he said also, the quote that I mentioned earlier, there's two most important days in your life, the day you're born and the day you realize why. I just got chills all over. And I was just like looking around. And the people that laughed at me, said good luck, doing that, they weren't there. The people that were ambitious, people that are moving forward into their life, they were all there. And I knew that I was at the right place at the right time. And I knew I was born to do this. And it went from my head to my heart and every fiber of my being. I just said, I'm going to do this no matter what it takes. So that's the pivotal point when Julian Doan, his six-figure ring speech.
Thank you so much, Alan. Just a lovely, I appreciate it. Great content, great information. And guys, if you wouldn't mind, maybe you could stay on once we get to the question and answer session. People may have questions. And by the way, for those of you, I know you're ready. For the questions, just type them into the box with your name. Unless you want to remain anonymous, you can. But put that in there. We're not going to get to it until we're done with our training session here with Zach Chaney, which we're going to be coming to right now. So just bear with me. But as you have questions, say who you want the questions for. And if you guys could stay on, that'd be great. Now, Zach, I'm going to go to you. Some of the people heard from you a few weeks ago, and you talked about your story and your reasons, so we're not going to go into that today. You may want to recap it real quick, but what I want to talk to you about is how you did it. Now, obviously, Alan, Jordan, these guys are fired up. They see the vision. They're part of the network, and they're part of the community here. And everyone wants people like that on the team. And I know many people right now, especially if you're brand new, you're thinking, man, if I could get a Jordan or Alan or someone like that, someone that's like that, thinks like that on the team, that would be great. Well, you have an army of people like that, Zach, because you've been very good at getting people to the conventions. And if you could just start off explaining a little bit about really who you are, just for the people that are brand new today, a little understanding of your background, a little understanding of the convention, and then kind of go into what you do. I mean, you're the #1 in the company, at least in all the between Canada, America, and South America. You're the one. And I'm taking notes right now too. I'm impressed by all the things that you've done, and I think you're going to be able to deliver a lot of quality content to people that are listening in. So, Zach Chaney, the floor is yours.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate you. And for those of you that are new on this webinar, welcome. This is actually amazing technology. I love it, and I'm really excited about being on this every single Sunday live. But just real quick, those of you that don't know me, my name is Zach Chaney. Background, before Secret, I was actually dead broke. I was on EBT cards, cash aid, food stamps. I was going to the food bank. I had 2 kids I was fostering at the time, my nephew and niece, and we had them on the WIC program. If you guys don't know what that is, basically you get the Frosted Flakes without the frosting. And, I was just depressed. I didn't know what to do with my life. And, my wife was working, and I was staying at home, and I didn't know what to do. And, Joe showed me Secret, so I hopped on board. And what's been amazing is I built Secret for about 1.5 years to a 6-figure income. And then I'm really passionate about a lot of other things in life, aside from Secret. I love Secret, but there's other things I'm passionate about. And one of those things was studying my faith, Christian doctrine, theology. So I went to a theology doctrine school for 1.5 years, and I completely took my foot off the gas of Secret, basically retired myself for 1.5 years, And you know, I was able to walk away, and the company still, my income actually kept going up, which is amazing. And I was able to focus on my passion, which is basically studying the Bible. So that's a little bit about me. When it comes to convention, I know you had 3 questions there.
Let me interrupt you just a minute. I hate to do this, Zach, but my goodness, you just hit on something. Almost everyone enrolled. No one enrolls in secret or any opportunity for that matter to go, I want to be the best in this opportunity. Most of us enroll to pursue our passions. And what I thought I just heard you say is you worked for about a year, a little over like a year and a half, and you were able to basically go study your passion, do your passion. And I remember this, and you didn't have to do much at all for your secret business, and your income increased over that year and a half.
It increased. The only thing that I did was promote convention. That's the only thing I did. I didn't do a wow party presentation. I just showed up to secret academies every single week and waved and said hi to everyone and smiled and shared my testimony and loved on everyone. And I told them the truth. Hey, I'm retired. I'm checked out right now. I'm doing what I got to do. I'll be back later. And all I did was when convention came around, that's all I did was just promote convention because I understand the importance of it and on how the butterfly effect can change so many people's lives. And so that's how the income kept going up because I just promoted convention. That's it.
Okay, that's awesome. Guys, so like, if you're listening, I know you all caught that. This is the secret to the success. I know this is something I did in my career as well. It's helped me make millions of dollars. I know, Zach, you're well on your way to making millions yourself. You're already in a nice 6-figure passive cash flow. Zach, teach us how you did it.
Awesome. There's a couple things that I did. You know, I shared a little bit on the last webinar of how you actually communicate with somebody and what you actually say to them and how you overcome their, you know, reasons why they want to do it. You know, what's more important, the reason why you're in this business or your obstacles that are holding you back. I explained on that on the last webinar 2 webinars ago. You guys could probably look up, you know, look it up on the, what's the website called again, Josh? BasicAgentTraining.com.
Yeah, basicagenttraining.com. All the archived webinars are there.
Yeah, you could look at that, but I'm going to share with you guys what I do from a leadership standpoint of, you know, just kind of helping develop leaders to become promoters. And it's all about duplication. The biggest thing is what I do is I have a Focus 30 group. Now, if you're new and you don't have 30 people on your team, just make it a Focus 2 or a Focus 3 or a Focus 4, whatever. But I get a Focus 30. I get my top 30 leaders that really show me that they're the ones that text me the most, they call me the most, and that's how I identify if they're a leader or not. I don't have to identify them. They identify themselves to me because I can tell they want it. I grab those 30 leaders, and what I do is I actually have them establish their Focus 30 or Focus 5 or Focus 10, however many leaders that they have. And it's kind of like a infrastructure, you know, kind of like the Army. You got the sergeants that, you know, over the, you know, different, right? And so what we do is, the biggest thing that I do is I'll throw an team emergency conference call, and I do this like usually 2 months before the convention. Team emergency conference call, get everybody on there, and what I'll do is, just for like the silvers and above first, is I'll launch that. Now, if you guys don't have silvers on your team, that's fine. Just do like a star and above call, whatever. And I take the silvers and above and I launch a promotion with them. Now, I do certain promotions. Last convention I did, you know, first place, whoever gets the most registrants, you get to go. I'm going to pay for a cruise for you. If you can't pay for that, it's fine. Maybe it's just a salt and oil scrub. Maybe it's a free convention ticket. It doesn't matter. Just throw something out there, invest into your business to promote. And so what I'll tell the silvers to do is I'll tell them, right, my Focus 3, I'm like, okay, make sure you throw an emergency conference call for your bronzes and do a promotion for them. And so we have this emergency conference call to let everybody know we're throwing a special promotion for the silvers and the bronzes and the different promotions for everybody, so everybody participates. You could win something if you register people, and it's like this competition thing where everybody's having fun and they're winning stuff. And then what I do is every weekend I'll go to like a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean, and I'll actually just post it up on social media and in my own little group, and on the conference call I'll promote it, and I'll say, hey, we're doing a 3-way call blitz. If you guys don't know how to promote, you come meet me at Starbucks. I'm going to be there. Anybody who's going to be there, you come, and I'm going to sit there, and you just tell me who I need to call for you. And I'll just sit there, and I'll make phone call after phone call after phone call, and all I'm doing is promoting convention. While I'm promoting convention, I'm getting people committed to go. I'm overcoming their obstacles. I'm sharing them, reminding them the reason why they're doing this business, why they need to go to convention, why it's important. And while I'm doing that, I have 30 people at the Starbucks. We've actually gotten kicked out of Starbucks a couple times because of this. We had 30 people at the Starbucks, right? And they're listening to me do it on speakerphone while I do a live conference call for the people that can't make it to the Starbucks, people that are long distance, people at work, hanging under their desks. They could listen to me do live dials and overcome people's obstacles and get them committed to go to convention on the conference call. And so I started doing that like every weekend before the convention started. And so what ended up happening is it ended up developing leaders, developing promoters, because once they heard what I said when somebody said I don't have the money, or when somebody said, oh, I don't have this, I can't get the time off work, and once I figured out like how to overcome those obstacles, and they heard me do it over and over again, especially because I recorded it and they could go ahead and listen to the replay over and over again, it developed leaders, and they understood how to promote, and they understood the formula and the system behind promoting, and they were actually able to go out there and do the same exact thing that I did. The second thing I did is accountability texts. I would let them know, hey, this promotion's going on. Shoot me a text message every time you get somebody that registered online. Once they pay online for their ticket, shoot me a text message. And what ended up happening is I started getting texts from people like Alan or Jordan or Caleb Brandley or these different people. And when I didn't get a text message, I knew something's going on in my leader's head. He's obviously not promoting, or she's not promoting, so maybe there's a family issue, I don't know. So I call them and I figure out what's going on. I haven't got a text from you in a while, and I try and help them, you know, with whatever's going on, get their mind in the right spot so we can start promoting again, so I can start getting those accountability text messages again. So that's just one of the ways that I do it.
Okay, so I'm taking notes here. This is good stuff. So basically, you're taking action into your own hands. Number one, as a leader, you're saying, all right, I'm going to do this. And maybe someone's brand new and they don't have a big team just yet. But I think a lot of times when we're brand new, we get a couple agents, we think they're just going to go do it. But you are not doing that, right, Zach? You are actually going, hey, listen, I'm going to do it. Let me call the people. Let me help you basically understand how you promote this. So you're taking reins in your own hand, one. Two, once you've done that and people hear you, then you set up an accountability where they're text messaging you, hey, look, I got someone registered, and on a consistent basis, so you're kind of keeping your finger on the pulse of it. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, and then I'll actually send back the numbers to everybody. I'll make maybe like a WhatsApp group or something, or a special group on social media like Facebook where it's private, nobody else can see it. It's just us and like the promotion, the registered promotion group, and I'll post up so they can see, oh man, Alan's winning. Oh, watch out, Jordan, you better catch up. Alan's gonna beat you, and so it creates this competitive nature where it's fun, it's awesome, and they're all competing with each other to win the promotion and go out there and just get more people registered so they could have success. It's awesome.
That's phenomenal. Now, my first thought is, well, man, I can't wait for you to record some of this and of course, with people's permission, then allowing us to listen to some of the stuff that you're doing, because obviously what you're doing is systematic. And I just because I've been around for a while, I know what you're doing, but I want to hear from you specifically. You can tell everybody what's kind of the framework, and maybe we could role play a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm on the team. I'm not yet going, and what's the first thing you're going to do with me?
The first thing I do is I open. I kind of explained this on the last webinar. Is before you even do anything, you want to make sure you open someone up. You want to get to know them a little bit. You want to kind of figure out where their head's at. You want to figure out what kind of challenges and issues they're going through in life, so that you could actually meet them where they're at and mirror match them. And it's not like manipulation or anything like that. It's just getting to know them so that you could help them make the best decision for their life. That is it. And so how I open them up is I just talk to them about their life. I form them. If you guys don't know what form is, it's talk to them about their family. Their what do they do for work, occupation, recreation, motivation. I just kind of get into a conversation with them if I don't know them. If I do know them, obviously I don't need to get into that conversation. But the first thing I do is open them. And when I open them, here's the key. If you're taking notes, write the word open, and then you find out their why. Right next to it, just find out their why. Now, if this is the biggest thing, like I'll just ask like Josh, so let me ask you this question, Josh. So you obviously got started in secret for a reason. You didn't just do it just for the heck of it. But remind me once again. I already know the reason why you're doing the business, but remind me one more time. What was the real reason when you first got started in this business? Why did you want to get started? What were you looking to get out of it?
I want to spend time with my family. I want to be there when they grow up. I don't want to be working a job 24/7 and barely have enough money to do anything when we do have time together. I don't want to be subject to money, and I want to have time with my family.
All right. So it sounds like you want some time freedom. You want some financial freedom. You want to be able to show your kids and your wife that you love them and spend quality time with them, and you want to be there with them. Now, let me ask you this question. If it's not for secret, doing what you're doing right now at your job, do you see yourself being able to do that if you just continue doing what you're doing for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
No.
No? Okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you see the ability of maybe there's a chance that you might be able, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel if you actually did it with secret?
That's why I got started.
Okay, cool. So let me just tell you, man, and so that's how I open them. You guys see how that I figure out his why, and I just make them realize what you're doing right now is not going to get you that. Secret will, though. You have the opportunity. Okay, right? If you're looking down a fork down a road and you see a light at the end of the tunnel on the right-hand side and you see no light at the end of the tunnel on the left-hand side, would you rather give yourself a chance or give yourself no chance at all? Right? It's give myself a chance. Okay, perfect. And right after I open them, I'll just promote the convention. Now, here's the big thing. I don't promote an event. I don't promote, nobody likes meetings. Nobody here's the thing. I just promote the speakers. I'm like, man, let me tell you something. There's going to be people that are making 7 figures. This guy, Josh Denny, oh my goodness, man. This guy makes 7 figures a year, passively, residually, whether he works or not. Do you know anybody like that? No? Oh, if you did, do you think they would even take time to spend time talking to you and telling you how they did it? Probably not. Well, here's what's awesome. We get to go to an event where he's going to actually pour out into us and teach us exactly what he did, because in secret, he benefits by helping us benefit. The more money we make, the more money he makes. So guess what? He's going to teach us all his secrets, right? And so I start promoting speakers, and that's what I hit on promoting, and then I'll share a testimony. So promote speakers. That's the biggest thing, is talk about, mirror match. If you know somebody that, is a woman, talk about a woman speaker. Tiffany Malott. She's a genius. She's amazing, right? And so just mirror match, and then what I'll do is I'll share testimonies too. I'll be like, it's so funny. When I first got involved with this business, my mentor, he was talking to me about how I needed to go to a convention. I didn't have the money to go. I couldn't get time. All this, and this is all the obstacles that I had. But what ended up happening is I went out there and I went to the convention. And because I went to the convention, I had this aha moment where this guy, he quoted David Brinkley. He said, a successful man is one who could lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown at him. And it just hit me. And I just understood, and I came out of that event emotional. I had, goosebumps. It was this crazy feeling that I got when I was sitting in that event. I've never experienced anything like this before in my freaking life, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I can't explain it to you. It's not something that I could just pull up in the dictionary and you could look at the definition. No, it's something you have to be there to understand it. And so what ends up happening, right? And then I share the testimony of, what happened after. How did I overcome those challenges? How did I overcome those? I borrowed money. I did this. I pawned my laptop. I did whatever I needed to do to be there. I went there. What's funny is I was going to get fired from my job. I had 2 write-ups. 1 more, I was going to be gone. I was the store manager of a store, and I actually called in and I said, hey, I got a family reunion. I got to be there. Family reunion, right? This is my first convention, by the way. And so it was crazy. My district manager had to fly in from a different state to take over the store because I called in slick, or I basically said a family reunion, which it was a family reunion, my secret family, and right? And so what ended up happening was she covered my shift. I was scared I was going to get fired, but what's crazy is while I was sitting in that event, I came out of that event. Within 3 weeks, I made $3,000. I came back into my boss's office. I got something in my eye. She said, "What's that?" I said, "I can't see myself coming in here anymore," and I fired my boss.
Well, wait, hold on. You cut out for a second. In a pivotal moment, within 3 weeks of coming back from your first convention, you made
$3,000 within my first 3 weeks of being in this profession. My very first convention. This is when I had a job, and this is obviously a previous company I was with. My very first convention. Okay, this is the first time I've ever seen a convention. It was the craziest thing. And so what ended up happening was I came out of that event. And I was scared I was going to lose my job, but within 3 weeks, I made $3,000. So I had something in my eye, and I was like, I walked in my boss's office, like, "What's that?" I was like, "I can't see myself coming in here anymore." And I said, "You're fired." And I fired my boss. I haven't had a boss or a job in over 5 years now because of that convention. And that's it. And so I share my testimony. That's it. If you don't have a testimony, share your mentor's or share my test, or share Josh Denny, or Jordan Bezerto's testimony, Alan LeGuantin's testimony. Just share our testimony. And so I open. I promote the speaker, share a testimony, and then the biggest thing you have to do this is so important, is you need to isolate their objections. So the biggest thing is they're going to tell you, and you just ask them. This is very simple. So me and Josh, right? Let's say I'm talking to Josh. So Josh, does this sound like something that maybe that you would want to, obviously come to? If nothing was holding you back, let's just say in a perfect world, nothing's holding you back, would you want to be there?
For sure.
Okay, perfect. So let me ask you this question: is there anything that's slowing you down from coming, or are you just ready to go? Let's get a ticket on that.
I don't have the money.
Okay, don't have the money.
I don't know if I can get the time. I got kids. I got married. I got kids. I don't think my wife's going to understand.
Perfect. So you don't have the money. You don't have the time. Now let me ask you this question: is there anything else? If we could solve the money and solve the time, is there anything else that may be holding you back or slowing you down from going? If we could solve those two things, would you go, or is there something else that might be slowing you down from going?
No, I mean, if I had the money to go, I had a ticket, room, I just don't have that stuff, and I don't have the time. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. And so this is the key you guys have to understand, because when I'm talking to Josh, or when you're talking to somebody and you're promoting to them, right? When you're talking to them, they're going to say, "Oh, I don't have the money," and then you could sit there and try and solve their money issue. And then after you solve the money issue, they're going to be like, "Well, I don't have the time either." And that's an hour later into the phone call. So just isolate all the objections. I just isolated everything. I said, "Josh, you don't have the money, you don't have the time. Is there anything else that would be slowing you down?" No, you would go if we could get you the money and the time, right? And so it's like, okay, and you got kids and you have the wife. Okay, so let's solve these obstacles. Now, it's not my job to solve their obstacles. As a leader, I want them to actually solve their own obstacles. But I'm just kind of guiding them into solving their own obstacles. And so I'll just ask them this question. I'll say, let me ask you this, Josh. What's more important? The fact that you can't get time off work and you need to spend like little bit more time with your family. I understand that. Obviously, that's important. And you don't have money. Is that more important, or is the fact that you want to spend the rest of your life with your kids and not have somebody telling you where you need to be and when you need to be there, and you want to have financial freedom and time freedom, the reason why you're joining this business, like you shared with me earlier, what's more important to you, your obstacles or your reasons why you're doing this business? Right? You hear me okay, Josh?
You cut out there for a minute.
So my main question...
Jordan, you can hear? Thumbs up. Is it cutting out for you guys or just me?
It might be just you.
Okay,
so I'll repeat the question. So the main question that I ask is, what's more important? Your reasons why you're doing this business, or the obstacles that are holding you back from going to convention?
Well, the reasons for doing it, for sure.
There you go. Perfect. So let's do that, man. I mean, if you had to set a goal, would you set a goal on your obstacles, or would you set a goal on your reasons?
On my reasons.
Let's set a goal on your reasons then, man. Let's do this. So let's take a piece of paper. What I want you to do is take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle of that paper. And I want you to write on this left side, current reality. This is your current reality. You don't have the money, so let's go ahead and write that down. And let's go put right here, you need to get time off work, and you need to spend time, you need to talk to the wife and the kids, right? These are the three things we need to solve. And then on the other side, this little T-chart is the can-do list. What can I do about it? Because here's what's funny, Josh. Most people,
what I can do,
all they think about is what I can't do. And guess what you can do about what you can't do? Nothing. No. You can't do anything about what you can't do. So why do we spend time thinking about what we can't do? That's silly. So let's not waste our time on that anymore, because obviously, we want to go out there and be successful. So let's write down. Okay, so you don't have the money. Now, what could we do about that? If you really needed the money, like let's say within 24 hours, you needed to find, $400. What would you do to find $400? If somebody had, I know this sounds crazy, okay? I don't normally say this to people, but let's just say I had a gun to your head and I said, give me $400 within 24 hours or it's over. How would you find $400?
Guess I'd borrow it.
You borrow it? Okay. Who would you borrow it from?
I'd probably ask a couple friends to pitch in.
Okay. Which friends?
I see you're doing. I like that. Okay.
See that? So you don't just take an answer like, oh, I'd borrow it. Okay, cool. Call me later and let me know if you borrowed it. No. My job is to help you, guide you into solving it. So the big thing is, right, okay, so you'd borrow it. Okay, who is the person's name and what's their phone number? Because I'm going to listen to you talk to them about it. Right?
All right. Would you have me call them there then with you? Or?
For sure. I would just mute my phone out and listen to you ask them over the phone. I would coach you on a good way to ask them. And then just be like, hey, man, I got, these reasons, I need to find time freedom. I need, how I've always talked about, I need to spend more time with my wife and my family. And I'm just, man, this job's, oh, man, I just need to find a way out. I think I finally found a way out. but I need a favor from you, bro. Can you please, as my boy or as my girl, please, is it okay? Can I borrow some money from you? I promise you, I'll pay you back as soon as I can, you know. And I guide them on how to ask. And very simple.
So I see. I mean, I'm loving this. I got some great notes. So you're promoting the speakers. You're sharing the testimonials. You're sharing stories. So you're helping me relate with other people. Then you're isolating any objection that I may have by first identifying why I'm doing this in the first place, and then reminding me this is why I'm doing this. Okay, finding out what's stopping me from going, making sure that all the reasons that are stopping me from going are in plain sight, and anything outside of that is not a reason anymore, so I can't back out of it. Then what you're doing is asking me questions about those things, saying, you know, what's more important, your obstacles, these obstacles that you're talking about, or your reasons why you're doing this business in the first place, helping me to think and it's generally you're not selling me. What you're really doing is helping me to understand what I'm really doing. You're helping me to go, okay, I need to go, having a desire within me to go to this convention to help me get what I said I wanted and helping me to see how I can do it. Is what you're 100%. Really doing, right?
Yes, and my posture on the phone is it's not selling. It's if I buy your excuse, that means I co-sign on your failure. That was the biggest thing Joe Valenzuela told me when he was promoting convention to me is he said, Zach, I love you so much, bro. I'm not going to buy your excuse. Because if I buy your excuse, I co-sign on your failure, bro, and I'm not going to do that. If you're going to fail, that's going to be your own choice. But I'm here to help you make the right choice. And so he just guided me through it. And so I just kind of copied the right cat, copied what Joe did with me. And so that's the biggest thing is just helping them, you know, and it's not even that. If somebody says borrow the money and they can't borrow the money, it's like, okay, what can we pawn? What can we sell? Can we do a garage sale? Can we do a swap meet? Can we do a couple wow parties before convention? Maybe get you a superstar bonus. There's so many. I mean, we live in America. I had this guy in Maryland, actually, when I was out there speaking at an event, just to get started. I'm not going to mention any names, but he actually just got out of prison. There was no opportunity for him to have a job. And, you know, luckily, Secret accepts, you know, all of us. It's awesome, right? And so he joined Secret. He didn't have the money. He didn't have a phone, a cell phone. He didn't have contacts. He actually borrowed his friend's cell phone. He borrowed a couple, you know, $20 from his friend. He bought some waters from Smart and Final, and he sold the waters for $1 a bottle in a parking lot out of a cooler with ice that he borrowed, and he made enough money to buy a 550 package. So it's like, come on, dude. We live, you know, if you don't live in America, you know, I'm not sure how it is over there, but I'm just saying, if you live in America, I mean, come on, there's so much. It's too easy. I mean, there's so much opportunity. You could find the money if you need it. If you really want to go, you could find the money to go. The money is the smallest issue. Everything else is a little bit harder than that. And so I just kind of worked down the list. Once we solve the financial, okay, here's this. Then it's like, okay, what about, okay, when can you talk to your wife? Can you talk to your wife tonight? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, when can we talk to the boss and put the 2-week notice in? Right? I just help you figure it out and just work with you along with it.
I lost you there, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I lost you for a second, too.
You work down the list. So you're just working through the list. Say, when are you going to talk to your wife? Basically, helping me get a guideline to exactly what I need to do, when I need to do it. Because the bottom line here, Zach, is you're trying to help me. You're not trying to get me to convention. You know that by me going to this event, it's going to inspire me. I'm going to see a story like what Alan talked about, what Jordan talked about, that's going to talk to me. Because you know what, maybe you can't relate with me as well as someone else could, but you don't know. You just need to get me there to experience it for myself. And that, I got to tell you, I mean, the only reason I've made millions and millions of dollars in this profession is not because I'm special or better, because I'm not. Most of you guys who've hung out with me, you know, just a regular person. And all of you guys the same way. We're kind of goofballs. We have a blast. We have fun, but we're not better than anybody else. But I can say all of us have the one thing in common, that we went to a major event where the light bulb opened up. They say once a mind is expanded, it can never conform to the shape it once was. This is what gets us to grow. This is what gets us to become more, strive for more, and give us a pathway, mentors and coaches to get us there. And so, Zach, I think what you're doing is absolutely. I'm excited because there's real practical information here that people can use. One, you know what? Find out what, like we just talked about, find their why, find their reason, remind them of that, and help them to realize that going to this event is how it's going to happen. You know, one thing I'd always tell people, Zach, is, you know, I've never met the the person who's really achieved financial freedom for real in this profession anywhere that didn't go to an event, that didn't not only go to conventions but continue to go to them and lead the people that they bring into the business to the. I've been around for a little while and I haven't met that person. And I know you guys are all saying the same thing. You guys are making incredible income, and it's because of the convention and following these things that you're talking about, Zach. So we're going to go to some questions. I'm sure we're going to get some great questions in a moment. But I think this has been a phenomenal training. Is there any last words that you have or any final thoughts you want to share with the community here?
I mean, the biggest thing is how I promote convention. My mindset is just how I build my business. When I build network marketing, it's network marketing. And when I have somebody that joins my team, I don't expect anything from that person. I don't expect them to even do an invite call. I don't expect them to recruit anybody. I don't expect anything at all. But my job is to drive my own business, to drive my own bus. So what I do is when I recruit Josh, I grab a hold of him and I get to his contact list as soon as possible, do his blueprint, do a wow party, and my job is to get to his contacts and find Bob. Now I grab Bob and I get to Bob's find Phil. Phil, I go find Sarah. Sarah, I go find, right? And I just build this line all the way down. I drive the bus. I still don't expect anything from Josh. I still don't expect anything from Bill or Sarah or anybody else. I don't expect anything. Now, am I leaving them behind? No, I'm building a huge leg for them, right? I'm driving depth, but I'm letting them know, hey, here's the deal. You could watch me do this, and you could learn how to do it, and you could get as good as me at if you just copy the right cat, and if you do it as much as I do it, you can make as much money as I make. And I let them know, and either they come or they don't. They identify themselves if they're a leader or not, if they want to come watch me or not. And I do that same thing with promoting convention, is I drive my own bus. I don't leave it or think that, like, here's the thing. Alan and Jordan and Caleb and all these people, Brad Deddy, all these amazing people on my team, some of them are better than me at promoting. I'm just being real. They're phenomenal. But I don't expect them to promote at all. I don't expect it. And so if I don't expect them to promote at all, which I know they are going to, but I just don't expect it, my mindset is I need to go promote. And I drive my own bus. And I help people get registered on Jordan's team. I help people get registered on Alan's team. I help people get registered on Brad's team. And then I text Brad, text Jordan, like, hey, man, just got this guy registered, just got this guy registered. And then everybody's getting fired up. Everyone wants to get registered. And so it just creates this emotion and this excitement. So that's the key, is just drive your own bus. Don't expect people to do anything. You need to be the person that you want to become. You know, I want to be just like Josh Denny. How do I do that? Is I got to start pretending I'm Josh Denny. That's the only way I'm going to be Josh Denny, right? So that's the key.
Thanks so much, Zach. And I guess how you do get registered, guys, go on to the back office and register now. If you have guest tickets, February 22nd is the deadline to put a name on those guest tickets, so it doesn't just say your name's guest. So if you got someone that you want to give a guest ticket to, or you want to transfer that guest ticket to, you need to do that by February 22nd. Other than that, guys, register right now. Go in the back office, register. If you're under 60 days, $99. Can't beat that. If you're over that, look, the price point's worth it. Okay, I don't care if it's $1,000. I promise you, it'll be worth it. And I can give you this guarantee. It's being recorded, so it's up here. You go to that convention, and you can look me in the eye and really mean it with your heart. After you sit, do everything. You're there from the beginning till the end. You don't leave your seat. You stay in and experience everything, the whole thing, and you can look at me afterwards. That's all over on Sunday, and say, you know what, Josh, it really wasn't worth it for me. I didn't get any value. Then I will make sure I reimburse you for your ticket and for the expense in getting there. I have no problem doing that. I will do that in a heartbeat, and I've been making this commitment for years. I've never had one person come up to me and ask that, but look, it's open. I believe that strongly in this event and what's coming up in movement. I promise you, when you go there, and if you make the commitment, I want you to come up to Zach, come up to Jordan, come up to Alan, find us, come up to me, and say, you know what, I was on that webinar, I was on that Vision Cast on February the 15th, and I made the decision. You know what, I said, I'm going to go, I'm going to figure this out, and I just want to hear from you. At day one, when you get there, and I want to have a conversation with you as soon as it's over. I know that Zach would be interested in that, so would Jordan and Alan. We're here to help you succeed, and we know this isn't like a pitch, and we don't get paid for you going to this convention. But what we do get paid for is helping people win. And if you're out there right now and you go out and you win big because you went to this convention, that's what's going to satisfy us. Not just the money, if we're able to earn a commission off that, but the satisfaction that knowing that, like we were all in the same boat, didn't know if we could do it, didn't know, but we made the decision and we went. We had the faith, we had the courage, and we went, we took notes, we learned, and we applied. It's important. We applied what we just learned, and we've had tremendous success, and I know you can too. That's why we're asking you, register, book your hotel room. Again, the hotel room is going to be gone, I think, in a few days, sold out. Make sure, I'm talking, this is I believe it's the Westgate, right? The Westgate Hotel. This is a premier hotel in Las Vegas during March Madness, $109. Guys, you can't beat that anywhere. Get your hotel room booked now. Get your ticket booked now. And we're going to open this up to questions and answers. We will be back on next week with Nicole Wong. We got Miss Nicole Wong, who is absolutely one of the best in the company. Got to $250,000 a year in income part-time. Actually, she did that part-time, and when she got to $250,000, she went full-time. She has built a massive international organization. I just spent some time with her in Australia. I mean, she has got some wisdom, and she's going to be sharing some valuable insight next week on how she built the business, how did she do it part-time, get to that type of income, how is she leading an organization all over the world. Next Sunday night on the VisionCast, find out how and log in then. So with that,